brought up in this discussion was DeAndre Swift. I have Allgeier ranked ahead of Swift this week. Right now, Swift is the running back 23 for me. He is the running back 23 in consensus. I want to be optimistic about Swift. Like I in my heart of hearts, I want to be optimistic. But I think the ceiling is higher for Swift, but I think there's a lower probability that he gets more fantasy points than Tyler Allgeier in this week.
Yeah, so the reason I wanted to talk about Swift is I think consensus has the Detroit backfield backwards. I think that Jamaal Williams practiced in full. I think that we see the return of his best James Conner impression, where he just totes in a whole bunch of 1 to 5 yard carries at the goal line. There's no question in my mind that Detroit's going to be able to move the ball against Chicago. It's just a question of who gets all of those goal line touches. And Jamaal Williams is 6th in the NFL in red zone carries as a percentage of his team's red zone carries. He's 2nd in inside the 10-yard line percentage, and he's 4th inside the 5. He's still getting those goal line touches. We did see some encouraging usage from Swift, setting a near season high 56% of snaps last week, and he has been outscoring Williams 44 to 20 over the last 4 weeks, and he has been out snapping him 128 to 86 over the last 4 weeks. So I get why the consensus is the way it is right now. Like you said, I want to see the ceiling from Swift. I, like many others, sunk a bunch of second round picks into DeAndre Swift this year. And it's very easy, assuming the talent is what we all thought it was all along, that the ceiling is there. But I think that Jamaal Williams is going to outscore DeAndre Swift this week.
Ooh, man. Oh, I wish I had your optimism, Jake. I am more with the consensus on this one. My concerns are less to do with the injury now that he has practiced in full, because we did get that report. He did have the season low in carries and in rushing yards and in snaps due to that injury, or at least that's what we're attributing it to. But in the previous 3 weeks, 29, 38, and 32% of the snaps, that's, I think, why I'm a little more discouraged for Jamaal Williams, that Swift was, you mentioned it, out snapping him already. And I'm not chalking up the second season high snap rate to that injury. I think that's more fluky. That's not going to stick as strong. But you're going to need a touchdown from Jamaal Williams for it to hit. I just think there are more paths to Swift scoring fantasy points. Jamaal Williams, you need those, the battering ram at the goal line, right? And there's been 3 straight games where Williams hasn't gotten in the end zone, and he's finished during that span 43rd, 56th, and 57th in full PPR. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there, but last time that he played Chicago, 16 carries, 1 touchdown, 59 rushing yards, or 59 total yards, actually 59 rushing yards because he didn't have any receptions in that game. 6 red zone carries just in that game. Woof. So we'll see how it goes, but there is at least a line of thinking to, if the Lions and the Bears score lots of points in this game, Jamaal Williams could be a part of that. And if they're scoring position a lot, which the Bears are the worst defense in the NFL, let's not put it two ways, there's definitely goal line work to be had. So maybe I'm talking myself into a little bit more Jamaal Williams here. There, Jake.
Yeah, I will add also, I don't know if you saw this, but Justin Jackson was added to the injury report today. So a late add to the injury report is usually not a good sign, but something to monitor is this apparently a hip injury that Justin Jackson has picked up that could help alleviate some of the concerns with Jamaal Williams' volume going into this week.
All right, Justin Jackson on the injury report. You heard it here, because I didn't hear about it, but we're taking Jake's word. Check it out. Listen up, because I think that is going to matter, because Justin Jackson was getting somewhere between 10 and 20% of the snaps over the last couple weeks.